All right. Hello, everyone. I hope I'm audible. If you can hear me, you can just put in a message in the chat box on your Zoom or the YT live, to just let me know if I'm audible or not. All right. So just let me know if I'm audible. Right. And now I'll start the, live stream of the test solving. So again, as I share my screen, just let me know if everything that I'm, trying to present is visible or not. So basically, I've logged into my IMS portal. Okay, and I've gone into test, IPMAT, IPMAT Indore, and to basically SimIPMAT Indore here. So if I change this thing, and we have to take the 12th test. SimIPMAT Indore 202512, that is the All India Open SimIPMAT. Just to test whether the link is working or not. I clicked on it earlier, but I've not looked at the questions. All right. So the objective of today's session, okay, the objective of today's session is primarily, to solve questions the way we have, prescribed, the solving for you all. So basically, I'll do the live solving. It's an impromptu solving. I've not seen the questions in advance. So live solving each section, QA short answer, QA MCQ, and VA as well. Okay. So first thing is I'll do the live solving. Now, what is expected of you? What should students do in this, situation? So students, you all just watch, and while you're watching, try to also solve things parallelly. Okay. So as you're listening to it, keep a rough sheet with you. Just, keep doing the calculations, or, just observe how I'm, identifying questions, whether I'm solving a question or not. So don't get immersed into solving so much that you don't have any idea about, or you're not paying attention on what I am doing, how I am selecting questions, right? So that's something that you need to kind of consider. And the second thing is basically, understand the process, how I'm choosing questions, because, the QA short answer and QA MCQ, QA short answer and QA MCQ are purely about question selection. So identify how, just focus on how I identify questions as type A, type B, or type C. Okay. And see if the same is applicable to you or not. It's as good as saying round one questions, round two questions, and do not solve questions, kind of. Okay. So questions that I'll solve in round one, questions that I'll solve in round two, and I'll skip completely, are things that you need to keep in mind, while you are doing the solving. Okay. So just keep that in mind. Further, yeah, basically, I think I'll just move on and, get started with the solving, because we have exactly 2 hours for this, session, and the test will also last for 2 hours. So I can't spend a lot of time on discussing these things. So let us get started. Now I've already read the instructions, and therefore, I'll not be able to read the instructions again, because I have already clicked on this link earlier. But you'll notice that, if I just click on this, my time is 39:59. So the first section has just started. Okay. So on this note, let me begin. Okay. Ramesh places an apricot, a banana, and a cranberry in a basket. And if a dragon fruit is added, because the average weight of the fruit decreases by the 2 kgs instead of a dragon fruit, if an egg fruit is added to the basket, the average weight of the fruits increases by 4 kgs. If the weight of an egg fruit is k kgs more than that of a dragon fruit, then the value of k is. I think I've done such questions for change of average. Familiar question construct. Yeah, basically, I know the concept. I'm able to visualize the change in average concept. And I'm sure I'll be able to do it in less than 2 minutes. Yes, I'll do it. Type A for me. So type A, yeah. What are we given? Apricot, banana, cranberry. 3 fruits. Basically the fourth fruit decreases the average by 2, and the fifth fruit, instead of dragon fruit, if an egg fruit is added, it's increasing the average by 4 kgs for all the three of them. So can I say, I know that first fruit was dragon fruit is 2 kgs into 4, that is 8 kgs below average. And so basically a minus 8, and egg fruit is average plus 4 into 4, 16. Change in average concept. So yeah, basically the difference between the weights of the dragon fruit and the egg fruit is 24 kgs. This minus this, I can clearly see that the answer is 24. 2, 4, 24. I think this was a clear type A question. Should have attempted. Following instructions, maths teacher, take a positive real number x and add it to its reciprocal. Call the result n. N belongs to natural numbers. Take a positive real number x and add it to its reciprocal and call the result n, which belongs to natural numbers. N square minus 2 is equal to y. Y is equal to n. Repeat the steps 2 and 3 6 times. I am not even able to understand what's happening. I'll probably, keep this question for later. This is not a type A for me. Maybe I'll need to read this a little carefully. So hence I'll mark this one as type B. So mark and review, mark for later and review. So yeah, Krishna draws the following curve. C1 is mod of, okay, curve 1 is curve 1 has y is equal to mod of x plus mod x. Okay. So mod of x plus mod x for x belonging to 0 to 10. And another curve is x is equal to 0. And ci is equal to, and a set of curves ci is equal to y is equal to mx plus c, where I belongs to natural numbers from 3 to 6. Okay, so C3, C4, C5, C6 is mx plus c. Okay. Again, I'll come back to it later. Not a pretty straightforward question for me. Reading itself is taking their time. Maybe could be easy question, but I'll come back to it in the second round. Okay. Question number 4. The number of terms in the expansion of this would be how much? I think this is something which I should attempt. I have x to the power 3, x to the power 2, x to the power 1, constant term, everything. So when I whole cube it, there'll be one term which would be x to the power 12, x to the power 4, the whole cube. Will I be able to get x to the power 11? 4 into 4 into x to the power 4 into x to the power 4 into x to the power 3 is x to the power 11. So from the 3 brackets that I'll have, I'll be able to get a term related to x to the power 11 as well. And x to the power 10, would that be possible? I think all the powers would be possible from x to the power 12 to the constant term 1 into 1 into 1. This answer is pretty straightforward. I think the answer is 13. I'll still just verify because, I've got the answer very quickly. All the coefficients are positive. I don't see any, difficulty here. The coefficients are 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. 1, 4, 6, 4, 1. I think this is nothing but x plus 1, the whole cube, the whole to the power 4 raised to the power 3. Actually, this is x plus 1 raised to the power 12, if I'm not wrong, because the coefficients, yeah, 4c2 is 6, 4c3 is 4. Yeah, absolutely. So this is indeed x plus 1 raised to the power 12. It will actually have 13 terms only. Yeah, verified. Let's go ahead. So yeah, 6 minutes gone. All right. Vaishali purchased a thread along with C colored beads to weave a necklace. She found that she could weave 60 different necklaces. Okay, I know the formula for necklace. Whenever you have necklace, if there are n beads or if there are c beads, the number of arrangements that I can, the number of different arrangements that I can make would be equal to c minus 1 factorial divided by 2, and this is equal to 1. This is equal to 60 as per the question. So therefore, c minus 1 factorial is equal to 120. And therefore, c minus 1 factorial is 120. Therefore, c minus 1 is 5. Therefore, c is equal to 6 because 120 is nothing but 5 factorial. So c minus 1 is 5. Therefore, c is equal to 6. Pretty straightforward. I hope I read it right. All right. So yeah, 3 questions into my kitty. Again, another question related to what I had seen earlier. Krishna draws curves, this and this. So I think this question is giving me this data is giving me 2 questions. All right, interesting. But again, I'll mark it for later because too much reading that I need to do. So I'll first solve all the straightforward questions that I come across. Answer and Ashni sketch the curves on the graph paper as follows. Answer draws y is equal to mod x. Ashni draws y is equal to k minus mod x. For k belonging to natural numbers and k between 1 and 10. Find the sum of y coordinates of the points of intersection of these curves. Find the sum of y coordinates of the points of intersection of these curves. Okay. Answer draws y is equal to mod x. For the point of intersection, I'll just equate it. So mod of x is equal to k minus mod of x. Therefore, 2 times mod of x is equal to k. Therefore, mod of x is equal to k by 2. And therefore, x is equal to, sorry, mod of x is equal to k by 2. Therefore, x is equal to plus minus k by 2. Find the sum of the y coordinates of the points of intersection of these curves. All right. So I'm just guessing what value do I take for k, because x is equal to this, y is equal to mod x, and y coordinate of the point of intersection would also satisfy this. So y coordinate would also be k by 2 only. Mod of this would be k by 2. And therefore, for every, basically there are for every y coordinate, there will be 2 x coordinates. So if I basically understand the graph correctly, so there'll be, for every y coordinate, there'll be 2 x coordinates. So, there'll be 2 points for every y coordinate. And what I'm thinking is, I am familiar with this question type. I think I can get to the answer. I'm just concerned, am I interpreting the question correct? So here I believe y equal to mod x is pretty much simple, this one. But if I'm drawing y equal to k minus mod x, y equal to 1 minus mod x would be this graph. Y equal to 2 minus mod x would be 2 points higher. Y equal to 3 minus mod x would be 3 points higher. And this point is going to be 1 by 2 and 1 by 2, the y coordinate. So this is going to be 1. Either I could have gone about it that way. When it's raised to 2, this y coordinate and this y coordinate is going to be 1. So their total is 2. This is going to be 1.5 and 1.5. Their addition is going to be, so when k is equal to 3, this is going to be k by 2 and k by 2. And that's going to be 3. So if I interpret this correctly, basically what I am supposed to do over here is, what I'm interpreting is I have to draw all the possible graphs that Ashneer can draw. So Ashneer would have 10 possibilities. 1, 2, 3, 4. Ashneer is drawing all the values of k. So basically, there'll be 20 points of intersection. Each 2 ka addition is 1, then 2, then 3, and so on. So 1 to 10. The total would be summation of 10. Summation of 10 is 10 into 10 plus 1, 11 by 2, which comes out to be 55. Not sure about the answer, but yeah, because theta, no negative marking, I'll attempt it and go ahead. I've reached question 8. I know there are 2 graph related questions which I need to come back to, and I'm done only with 10 minutes. Okay, I have time. Chalo, let's go ahead. 2 trains 250 meters and 300 meters in length are running at speeds of 90 and 108 respectively. the time in seconds which the trains will complete, in which the trains will completely pass each other if they are running on the opposite direction at the same time would be how much? Uh, Two trains, 250 and 300 meters in length, are running at speeds this. Is it the question that I am reading? This is a pretty straightforward concept. Okay, length of the L1, L2 is given, S1, S2 is given. They completely pass each other. They're running in the opposite directions. I think pretty straightforward concept question. Here, I'll simply say the time taken to cross each other would be the total distance, that is 550 meters at the relative speed. 90 means 90 kilometers per hour is 25 meters per second. 108 kilometers per hour is nothing but 30 meters per second. Sorry. Therefore, 90 plus, 25 plus 30, this is 55 meters per second. 55 meters per second and 55 meters per second. So 550 at a speed of 55 meters per second, the time taken would be 10 seconds. 10 seconds is that. So, okay, just verifying. I think, yeah, I've done things right. Opposite direction, same time, yeah, completely pass each other. Yes, this should be the answer. Wonderful. Bharat chooses numbers from 4 by 4 grid containing the first 16 natural numbers and places them on a 3 by 3 grid. Now he invites X friends, each of whom chooses 3 numbers from this 9 element grid, writes it on a piece of paper, and places it back on the 3 by 3 grid. Bharat chooses 9 numbers from 4 by 4 grid containing the first 16. So 16 numbers may say he's choosing any 9. Then he makes a 3 by 3 grid out of it. He invites X friends, each of whom chooses 3 numbers from this 9 element grid, writes it on a piece of paper, and places it back on the 3 by 3 grid. Each pair of 3 elements or each set of 3 elements chosen by every friend is unique and results in a triangle. What is the sum of elements chosen by Bharat? First 16 numbers, he's chosen any 3 numbers which make uh, a triangle. So clearly, the number has to be each of the 3 numbers. No, sorry, he chooses 9 numbers. So each of those numbers has to be less than 8. I'm not sure what to do over here. I'll not waste further time. I think I've spent too much over here. Manisha drew Rangoli on a graph paper and realized it resembled the following function. Y is equal to sine x. X is between minus 3 to 0. And y is equal to sine x when x is between 0 to 4. So basically, it is y is equal to sine x from minus 3 to 4. At how many distinct points will the Rangoli intersect the x-axis? I have identified what this question is. Here one needs to understand when I say y is equal to sine x, the x is considered to be in radians. So I know y is equal to sine of pi is 0 and y is equal to sine of minus pi is also 0. So basically 0, pi minus pi plus pi. Here basically it goes in the negative half, cuts the x-axis. At pi it again becomes 0. And next one happen basically next 0 happens at 2 pi. Every pi basically becomes a 0. So I'm sorry. Second. Yeah. So for every pi, this becomes a 0. Clearly, this is minus 3.14. So from 0 to minus 3, the graph has just cut the x-axis at 0. This is the first place. This part is not a part of the curve. The curve ends somewhere over here for her. And her Rangoli goes on till, so this is 3.14, x equal to 3.14. And here somewhere x would be equal to 4. So it's somewhere over here. And therefore, in this duration, the graph has cut the x-axis exactly in 2 points. I hope I've read the question correct. Y is equal to sin x and y equal to sin x only. So the graph is sin x completely throughout. Has it been given 2 times? Okay. So yeah, I think two times is where it cuts the x-axis. 0 and pi. Anand created a 3 by 3 matrix called A, which consists of the first 9 natural numbers such that the sum of elements in each column from the first to the third is an increasing AP. Anand has made what? Anand has created a 3 by 3 matrix. Okay. He has made a 3 by 3 matrix. The sum of elements in each column from the first to the third. So this plus this is an AP. Okay. And the sum of the elements in each column are consecutive natural numbers. Okay. So clearly, first 9 natural numbers, either if I have to make an AP, it has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think only then this condition will be satisfied. Elements in each column are consecutive and I want it to be increasing also. The elements in each column are consecutive natural numbers. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, 4, 5, 6. Yes. 6, 15, 24 and increasing AP. The determinant of the matrix is not 0. Interesting. Is it possible that I have an AP if I take this as 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? No, it will not be an AP. 8, 9, 1. 9, 18. This would become 18. I'm not even able to figure out what matrix this would be. I think I should pass this question. Every time a customer withdraws any amount from either of the two fake ATMs, A1 or A2, he observes that for every withdrawal, there's only one note dispensed by each machine. The amount dispensed by each machine in every successive withdrawal is an AP. For the two ATMs A1 and A2, the ratio of the sum of first n notes for the two ATMs, the sum of the first n notes is 7n plus 4 and 8n minus 3. If the 9 notes is rupees 609. Okay. I have done such questions, although the question appears to be lengthy. I have figured this out. This is basically AP1 and AP2, both of them have 9 terms, ninth note and ninth note. Sorry. Basically, I want to find out the ratio of the ninth terms, and there are two APs for which I know the ratio of their nth terms. So AP1, sorry, I know the ratio of the sum of n terms. So basically, S1 for n terms upon S2 for n terms, the ratio is given as 7n plus 4 upon 8n minus 3. This is a type A question for me because I know whenever I'm given sum of n terms of two APs ka ratio, basically this ratio would also represent the ratio of the middle terms. So which term? Basically Tn plus 1 by 2th term, Tn plus 1 by 2. And why would that happen? Because the sum of n terms is directly proportional to the middle term. The n and the n gets cancelled. So because I wanted the 9th term, I'll take the number of terms. I'll take the number of terms, number of terms to be 9 into 2, 20, 18 minus 1, 17. If I put n equal to 17, the middle term becomes 9. So basically that will help me and get the answer. So basically sum of 17 terms of the first AP upon sum of 17 terms of the second AP would be equal to 7 into 17. 7 into 17, come on, fast. So that's 119 plus 4, 123 upon 8 into 17, that is 136 minus 3, 133, and that's equal to 6150, the 9th term, T9 of first AP and T9 of T1 and T2, this thing. So 6150 upon the 9th term, T9 of the second AP. And basically, yeah, this should give me the answer. I can clearly see 123 into half is 61.5, and that gets multiplied by 100. So this is actually into 50. So 133 into 50 would be my answer. 133, the half of 133 is 66.5. So that should be 6650. So for me, this was a type A question because I've done such a question in my AP class exercises, APGP. Such a ratio of n terms of sum of n terms of two APs. When that teaches a class of 60 students at a school with roll numbers 1 to 60. Because his salary is insufficient to meet his needs, he conducts private coaching for a set of P students from these 60 students. Okay. With the same roll numbers such that the sum of roll numbers of no two students in his private coaching class is divisible by 5. What is the maximum value of P? I've seen such a question somewhere in my exercises or somewhere, I've done such questions. 1 to 60, I don't want any number to be divisible by any two numbers to be divisible by 5. Yeah, basically, I'll not take the numbers, for example, the remainders when I'm dividing by 5, remainder when divided by 5, remainder when I divide anything by 5 could be 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the remainders possible. I'll not take numbers which leave a remainder 0, because if I take two numbers which are divisible by 5, the addition will also be divisible by 5. So I'll avoid this. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll take either the numbers which are all divisible, which leave remainders 1 and 2, or leave remainders 1 and 3, any two, but not the, because remainders 1 and remainder 4 make it divisible by 5, remainder 2, remainder 3 will make it divisible by 5. I think I've cracked the question. I can choose P students. So basically I'll choose roll number 1, roll number 2, then not choose roll number 3, 4. Then again, roll number 5 I'll choose, because 5 will 1 will not change my divisibility. Then again start choosing them. Roll number 6, roll number 7. 1 plus 6, 2 plus 6, 2 plus 7. The remainder will not become divisible by 5. So this will work. But again, I'll not choose 8, 9, and I'll also not choose 10, because 10 would be divisible by this. So out of every set of 5 numbers, I can only choose, 2 numbers is what I figure I'd have to do. So 60 divided by 5 is 12, 12 into 2, 24. And this one student, one number which is divisible by 5, I can take. So I think I'll be able to take 25 students at max. Yeah. On giving a discount of 14 2 by 7, that is 14 2 by 7% off on the marked price. 14 2 by 7. 14 2 by 7, that is 1/7 on the mark price. The shopkeeper gains 10%. The mark price is M and cost price is C. And C is equal to P upon Q, where P and Q belong to natural numbers and both of them are between 60 to 80. Find Q minus P. C is P upon Q. All right. I think using these fractions, I should easily be able to attempt these all. And I've already reached question 14. I have those 2-3 questions initially which I need to look at. All right. The graph question I had to go back to. The mark price is M and cost price is C. Mark price is M. C is equal to P by Q of M. This is a pretty straightforward question. I ignored the M, sorry. So yeah, basically selling price is equal to I'm giving a 14 2 by 7 1/7 discount on the mark price. So the selling price is 6 by 7 of the MP, and selling price is also 11 by 10 of the CP. Therefore 6 by 7 MP is equal to 11 by 10 CP. Therefore MP upon CP, therefore CP is equal to 60 by 77 of the MP, which is what we wanted in the condition. So therefore the difference between Q minus P is nothing but 17. Done. In an exam written by 1,000 students, Rakesh secures Xth rank and Utsav secures Uth rank. It is known that the sum of product of solutions of the equation x raised to u is equal to 4096 is S log of x square minus u square is between 2 to 4. That is, it is greater than 100 but less than, so x square minus u square is greater than 100 but less than 10,000, obviously. And finally, u is equal to log of x to the base 2 the whole square minus 9 times log x this. So if I quickly solve this second quadratic equation, u is equal to okay, sorry, u is equal to log of x to this. All right, so if I quickly check the conditions, first thing, x raised to u is equal to 4096. I think if I give 2-3 minutes to this, I'll be able to solve this. I know 4096 is 2 raised to the power 12. It is also equal to 4 raised to the power 6. It is also equal to 8 raised to the power 4. It is also equal to 16 raised to the power 3. And 12 has another factor, 12. It is 2 raised to the power 6 square. That is, this would also be equal to 64 raised to the power 2. And this would also be equal to 4096 raised to the power 1. Okay. And there are only 1,000 students, so it's not possible to have a 4096 at rank. So therefore, condition number 1, this last one is eliminated. I think these are the cases possible. Further, the sum of the solutions of this is S, and you have x square minus u square is between, so x square and u square should have a difference more than 100. X, okay, this could be x raised to, so basically x square minus u square, the difference, the mod of this difference, is it greater than 100? Yes, so this satisfies the second condition also. Does this satisfy the second condition? X square and u square, the difference should be greater than 100. 4 raised to 6, no. 4 square 16, 6 square 36, no. 64 and 16, no. 256 and 9, yes. So now it leaves me with these solutions only. Further, so x could be 2, 16 or 64. Also u, so 12 is equal to log of 2 to the base 2. So if I substitute the first one in the third equation, 12 should be equal to 1 minus 9 times 1 plus 20. So 21 minus 9, yes, this actually satisfies. So this is a valid solution. X equal to 2 is a valid solution. Then second one, if I substitute 16 over here, u is equal to 3 and x is 16. So 16 log of 16 to the base 2 is 4. 4 square 16. 16 minus log of 4 to the base 2. Sorry, log of x. Log of 16 to the base 2 is 4. 9 times 4 is 36. So 36 plus 20, 20 plus 16, 36, 36 minus 36 is 0. So this does not satisfy. And finally, 64 raised to 2. So 2 is equal to 60. Log of 64 to the base 2 is 6. 6 square 36 minus 9 times 6. So that will be minus 54 plus 20. 20 plus 36 is 56 minus 54. This also satisfy. The question is, what is S? S is the sum of product of solutions of this. Sum of what? Sum of the product of solutions. The solutions that I'm getting are 2 and x is equal to 64. So I'm not sure. Sum of product, there's only one product possible, that is 2 into 64, and the sum would therefore be 128. But I'm not sure. I've spent too much time and yet not very confident of this. I've been able to answer 10 in the first go. Coming back to the graph question. Graph question was Krishna and Krishna. So I'll attempt the Krishna question because it's giving me two questions. So what is this graph? 7 minutes. So I'll solve this Krishna question. Curve 1 is mod of x plus mod of x. So mod x plus x. Okay, it would either be, first curve is y is equal to x plus x. Okay, it's between 0 and x is between 0 and 10. So if x is between 0 and 10, mod of x is x itself. So basically y is equal to 2x. Because again, mod of 2x between this range is nothing but positive. So y is equal to 2x. Curve number 2 is x is 0 for all the values of y which are between 0 to 20. So curve 2 is nothing but x is equal to 0. It's a simple vertical line, all right. And the set of curves CI is mx plus c, where I can be from 1, 2, 3, 4. I belongs to natural numbers. And notice is that the areas enclosed by each of the curves CI with C1 and C2 are in arithmetic progression with positive integral common difference such that they form three obtuse angle triangles and one right angled triangle with right triangle having the largest area out of the four. Okay, let me, if I draw this thing on the graph, y is equal to 2x line is something like this. Again, going from x equal to 0 to x equal to 10, that is y equal to 20. So at this point, suppose if I take y equal to 0, 20, so this is the point and this point is 10, 0, such that this point is 10, 20. Also, we need to draw the line x equal to 0. So basically this y-axis till 20 is also a part of our curve. This is also a part of my curve. And y equal to mx plus c makes APs. One of the angles is a right angled triangle. So different values are of m we are taking. One of the m is perpendicular to one of these two lines. So its slope is either minus half or its slope is 0. So two vertices on this. Basically, one vertex is the only way any line can make any triangle over here. I need to be a little fast. I'll just see. If I have to make any triangle here, the lines would have to be this way. Can I eliminate this point and yet have a triangle? I don't think so. Could be this way, could be any such line, could be this kind of a line. Additionally, the triangles so formed share a common vertex. If I could just quickly check the other question, I think I'm stuck on this one. Even after spending so much time, I'm not able to get to it. Take a positive real number and add it to its reciprocal. Let's call it n square minus 2 is y. Y is equal to n and repeat steps 2 and 3 6 times. I'm not able to understand what this means. Repeat step 2 and 3 6 times. Okay. All right. Got it. I think I've got it. I think I'll be able to do this one faster. So maybe, not a good pick on the graph one. Meenakshi, Shashank, and Rakesh performed this exercise and had the following observations. The value of n after doing the operation for the first time by all students was take any positive real number x and add it to its reciprocal. Let us call the result as y. So let me take x plus 1 by x is equal to, say, the minimum that value that it can have is 2, or it could be 3, or it could be 4, whatever. So different values possible. Say someone started with a 2, x and x were 1 and 1. So 1 square minus 2 minus 1 is y. I think in that case, the values could become negative. So if I take x equal to 1, 1 plus 1 is 2. All right, 2 square minus 2, I'm sorry. So 2 square minus 2 is 2. It will continue happening 2 only. So basically, if I take x equal to 1 or x plus 1 by x, n equal to 2, if I take n equal to 2, even after all the steps, it will continue to be 2 only, because n square minus 2, 2 square 4 minus 2 is y, and I put n equal to y again and repeat the steps. So it's again going in as n is 2, then y is 2, y is 2, then n is 2. So this continues this way. If I start with n equal to 3, if n is equal to 3, 3 square is 9, 9 minus 2 is 7. So n is 2, 3, y is 7. Again, y 7 means n is 7. If n is 7, 47. 47 square minus 2, and so on. And they're saying the value of n after doing the operation for the first time by all students was less than 50. The value of n for Meenakshi while doing the operation for the first time was equal to that obtained by Shashank while carrying out the operation for the second time. The value of n for Rakesh while doing the operation for the first time was equal to that obtained by Shashank while carrying out the operation for the third time. Right? See, if any one of them would have taken a 2, it will continue becoming 2 all the time. If someone starts with a 3, it becomes 7 in the second case. And that is the value. So for example, Meenakshi, suppose she starts with 3. So the value of n for Meenakshi while doing the operation for the first time was equal to that obtained by Shashank while carrying out the operation second time. So maybe if Meenakshi starts with a 7, maybe Shashank took the value as 3. And the value of n for Rakesh while doing the operation for the first time was obtained by Shashank while carrying out the operation for the third time. Maybe that would be a 47 or something, because the n for the third operation of this is 47, and these are the only 3 cases where these numbers are less than 50. Okay, so find the sum of values obtained by Shashank in the first 4 steps. So fourth step would be 47 square minus 1, sorry, minus 2. Can I calculate 47 square minus 2? Oh my god, 11 seconds. 47 square is 2209 minus 2207 plus 3. 2207 plus 10, 2217, 2217 plus 47. Oh, I missed that. I think I should. Okay, coming back to this. Now, type A, type B, type C would be very, very crucial. And athlete running in the Olympics for the past 10 years recalls that the time to cover 100-meter lap every year is a decreasing AP. Though he vaguely remembers most of these values, he vividly recalls that the time covered to 100 meter for the second, third, and sixth year is ABC respectively. Is a decreasing AP. He vaguely remembers most of these values. He vividly recalls that the time taken to cover 100 meter for the is ABC respectively. Past 10 years recalls the 100-meter lap every year is a decreasing AP. So he vaguely remembers So he vaguely remembers this thing. He vividly recalls the time taken. Okay, I'm pretty sure this answer has to be, the same answer. Otherwise, they wouldn't have given me such a vague question. So clearly, let me take any number. Decreasing AP, 10, 9, 8. I'm pretty sure, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. Because I think the answer should be 0, but I'll just quickly, verify using any set of numbers. So second, third, and sixth. So this is a decreasing AP. 4 times B. B means 8. So 4 times B means 32 minus 3 times A. So 3 times of A means 27. 32 minus 27 minus 5 is actually coming out to be a 0. Yes, the answer has to be 0. This was purposely, given this way. Next. A vessel has a 735-liter mixture of spirit and water which has 20% spirit in it. P liters of another mixture with 60% spirit is added to the spirit content in the resulting mixture but less than 50. Find the number of values of Q such that Q is equal to root of P, and P is not a surd. So P has to be a perfect square, simply. Uh, a vessel 735-liter mixture spirit and 20% spirit in it. So 20 and 20 and 20 and 60 allegations are mixed to get a solution which is less than 35. So basically it's, sorry, greater than 35 but less than, so the concentration is greater than 35% but less than 60%, sorry, less than 50%. So what could be the ratios? If I take it to be 35, this is 15 is to 25, 5 is to 3. The concentration would be 5 is to 3 ratio. And the 20% wala has 735. So basically, if I ever to take this one was P liters, I'll get the ratio of P. 5 parts is this much. 5 goes 150 times in this. So 147 times in 735. So 147 into 3. 147, 150 into 3 is 450, 441. Okay. So this is the maximum value I think that I'll be getting. And if it's 50%, this would be 30. And this would be 10, 3 is to 1, so 1 is to 3. So this is the minimum value. So 2205. So the P has to be between 441 and 2205. And Q is equal to root of P. So the number of perfect squares from 441 to 2205 would give me the answer. 441 is 21 square. For 2205, I know 2209 is 47 square. So this is less than 47 square, or this is greater than basically 46 ka square. So till, from 21 to 46 square in between this, because this one is less than 47 square, just less than 47 square. So therefore 21 to 46, I have 26 different possibilities, but the options, none of them has 26. In fact, there's a none of these. I hope I've taken the values correct. 735, 147 into 5. Yes, 147 into 3. Yes, this is a perfect square. Yes. 30, 10, 3 is to 1, 1 is to 3. Yes, I think 26 should be the answer. None of these. I think this was a bad call. So it was a lengthy question. Ramesh creates 9-letter word using 3 vowels, each repeated thrice. Ramesh creates 9-letter word using 3 vowels, each repeated thrice. Fine. Okay, this is, first of all, 5C3. Select any 3 vowels, and then you'll have 9 factorial. So 5C3 into 9 factorial. 5C3 into 9 factorial into 9 factorial into, oh sorry, not into, divided by 3 factorial, 3 factorial, 3 factorial. That would be 5C3 is the same as 5C2. That's 10 into 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. 6, 5, 987,654 upon 1 3 factorial is cancelled out. So 6 into 6. 1 6 is also cancelled out. 3 and the 2, and basically 3 goes 3 times, 2 goes once, 2 goes say twice over here. 5 into 2 becomes a 10, and 8 into 7. 8 into 7 is 56. 56 into 3. 56 into 3 is 56 into 3 is 168 and 2 zeros. Therefore, the answer should be option A. Yeah, this was an easy picking. Moving on to the next one. A vehicle covers a certain distance at a speed of 15 and returns to the starting point at a speed of 25. What is the average speed? Straightforward, direct concept. I know the answer has to be the harmonic mean of the two speeds. So I'll definitely go for it. This is a type A question, 2AB upon A plus B. So 2 into 15 into 25 upon 15 plus 25, that's 40. 5 goes 8 times. 5 goes 3 times. 2 goes once. 2 goes 4 times. 75 by 4. That should be 18 point something. Answer the option D. Pretty. Yeah. Let's go ahead. For the value of for what value of t will the expression this plus is attain its minimum value, given that b is the minimum value of this function, x plus 4 plus x plus 10 plus x plus 2. All the three roots of this expression are negative. Clearly, if x is greater than 0, the expression will achieve its, because its three roots are minus 10, minus 4, minus 2. So basically it would be something like this, and would definitely be an increasing graph beyond x equal to minus 2. So if x is greater than 0, the minimum value of this curve will happen at x equal to 0. So if I put x equal to 0, minus 4 upon minus 4 into 4 into 10, 40, 40 plus 2, 40 upon 2, 20. B is the minimum value of this thing. So B is equal to 20. And for what value of t does this? So, okay, it's the middle root. Minus 12, 12, 20 and 40. The middle root is 20. The middle critical point is 20. So for t equal to 20, this expression would be minimum. Answer is option A. Yes. So moving on. So because the previous question was a little difficult, but I had done such a thing in modulus, I think I could handle that. When a fair die is rolled twice, the probability that the sum of outcomes is 9 is P. And the probability that the sum of outcomes is at most 8 is, when a fair die is rolled twice, the probability that the sum of outcomes is 9 is P. So sum being 9 is 5 plus 4, 4 plus 5. That's only two cases, 2 by 36. And the probability that the sum of the outcomes is at most 8. So 9 is two possibilities. 9. Then sum of the die is 10. 6, 4, 5, 5, this thing. At most 8, right? So out of the 36, 9 is 2, 10 is 3, 11 is 12 is 1. Okay, I'm sorry. 9 is 4, 6 plus 3, 3 plus 6. I should have drawn this. Okay. 11 is 2, 10 is 3, 9 is 4 possibilities. And basically out of the 36, if these 10 are removed, at most 10, at most 8 is 26. So basically at most, this is 26 by 36 is Q, and 4 by 36 is your P. Then what is the value of P plus Q? That's 30 by 36, 5 by 6. Option D. All right, 10 minutes gone. I've attempted 6. My benchmark always is to reach 15 somehow. Okay, 12 to 15. I should never be less than 12 generally in the MCQ. But yeah, unless it's very difficult, and that's not the case. So, my target would be to at least reach 15 questions here. The amount with Nitin is one more than the product of the amounts with four of his friends. Also, the amounts with his friends are positive consecutive integers. Then which of the following statements is or are 2? So n is 1 more than product of 4 consecutive integers. There would be one even number in them. In fact, at least 2 even numbers in them. Even into even, that number would in fact be divisible by 8 also. Okay, anyway, so product is statement A is definitely true because even number plus 1 odd. Will it be a composite number? Will it be a perfect square? A only is there in the options. So I just need to check whether, is it always composite or something? I'll just take a few cases quickly and check. 2, 3, 4, 5. So let me 2 into 3 into 4 into 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 into 2 into 3 into 4, 6 into 4. 24 plus 1 is 25. 2, 3, 4, 5. 2 into 3 into 4 into 5, 6. 6 into 4, 24. 24 into 5. 120 plus 1 is a perfect square, 121. Quickly, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 will go, so 120 will become 60 and it will get multiplied by 6. So it will actually become 360 plus 1 is also 361. Last check. I think, it's satisfying. 4, 5, 6, 7. A 3 will go and be replaced by 7. So 120 into 7. 120 into 7, that will become 840. 841 is also perfect square. It is also perfect square. It is also, obviously, if it's a perfect square, it's composite. So n is composite as well as, oh my god. All right, I think none of these should be the answer here. Did I spend a lot of time? Maybe. Okay, but I at least I got the answer. U be the universal set. A is Y, Z, S, T. B is Z, P, Q. Which of the following statements is true? Should I go for it? Will I be able to do it in 2 minutes? I think the concept is pretty simple. I'll quickly check, the ABC and get to the answer. I think I'll be able to handle that. A into A union B the whole. Is it a composite or is it my screen? Yeah, it's A union B composite. It's complement. Sorry, A union B complement. So A union B complement. What is A union B? Y Z S T complement of A union B. So the ones which are not neither in A nor B. So X, Y Z S T and Z P Q. So Z P Q and S N T. So X T M N. X T M N. And what's uh, why did I even check? Option A is a property. Option B is a property. Option C is also a property. I did not even have to check this. This is in fact all properties. All of ABC are true. These are all rules. A union B, the whole complement is A complement intersection B complement. Yes. Complement of complement. A intersection B, the whole complement. Yes, these are all properties. Answer is option D. My bad, my bad. Question 9, cot of 15 plus cot of this. This is clearly very simple. It's either 0 or some value would be left. Because the cot of this thing, cot of 15 and cot of 165 are numerically equal, but they cancel each other. So all the numbers would cancel except, I'll just check where this is going. So it will have cot of 87, then cot of 90, and then cot of 93. Cot of 87 and 93 will also cancel each other. Cot of 90 is equal to, so cot of 90 is, tan of 90 is equal to 0. Cot of 90 is equal to 0. So tan of 0 is equal to 0. Cot of 90 is equal to 0. So clearly no value would be left. Everyone would cancel each other out. The answer should be none of these 0. Pretty straightforward. Mr. Shripad, manager at the bank, decides to celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi at his branch and requests all his employees to donate generously. The number of employees whose contribution equals or exceeds 500 per head is 100. And there are at most 180 employees uh, in this branch. The average donation received from all employees in the branch is 481. What is the largest possible average donation of the employees, each of whom has contributed less than 501? So if I want the largest possible average donation, I think I'll pass this. I think I'll have to think, but I'm not able to clearly think. And I think the paper is quite easy, so I'll look for very easy questions only. I'll come to this later. This appears to be a little verbose, but is this a DI set? No. A dishwasher is such that you can hold a circular dish. I'll come back to this later. So 12th question, 13th question I'll mark for later. If at all I had to look at it. Okay, 14th, the number of runs scored by Yashasvi Jaiswal in match A and match B were in the ratio 28 is to 15 in January and 14 is to 15 in February. The number of runs in match A and match B increased from February to March at rates that were twice and thrice. I'm having difficulty in understanding this. Match A and match B is the ratio 28 is to 15 in January. Again, a match A and match B happened in the month of February. The number of runs scored in match A and match B increased from February to March at rates that were twice and thrice, respectively, of the rates at which they increased from January to February. If the ratio of the number of scored in these two matches, I think I know what is to be done. Basically, let us call this opponent A and opponent B. So opponent A, opponent B, January, February, and March. We've been given this is in the ratio 28 is to 15. This is in the ratio 14 is to 15. And we've been given the ratio of the total number of runs in the two matches in February to March is in the ratio 116 is to 43. Okay. 116 is to 43. All right. So this is 28x, 15x. This is 14y, 15y. And whatever is the rate of increase here and the rate of increase here. Yeah, this ratio and this ratio is given to be Feb to March, the ratio is given to be 116 is to 43. If I could think of any common, 28 plus 15 is 43. If I take x equal to 1, and if I can think of any values of y, which can give me a 116, 56 plus 60. Yeah, this would be 4. 56 plus 60. So basically, this is 28, 15. This is 56 and 60. So 28 to 56 has become double. The rate of increase is 100%. So therefore, the next year, the rate of increase should be double. So it should increase by 200%. That is, it should become thrice. So it should be 168 here. For 15 to 60, it's become 4x. And now the number of runs increased from Feb to March at rates which were twice and thrice of rates at which they increased. So the rate of increase is 300%. So here the rate of increase should be 900%. So that is, it should become 10 times is what it means. Plus 100%. So here you should have plus 200%. That is, it became 3x. So 10 times. So basically 600. And therefore 768. Now what was the question? Then find the ratio of the number of runs in match A and match B in March. 168 is to 600. That ratio comes out to be 168 and 600. Both of them are divisible by 6. So 6 goes 28 times, 6 goes 100 times, 4 also cancels out. 7 is to 25. The answer is option B. I think I should have skipped that question maybe. Slightly lengthy, but because it was ratios, I did it. Because, although it was a little time consuming 2-3 minutes, but I got to the answer and I've got 10 answers. So, in the next 20 minutes, if I had maintained the same rate, I would have done, exceedingly well. Until devised a magic tank which receives a certain quantity of water as input and surprisingly generates a certain quantity of wine as output, such that the product of the outputs that it provides for a set of two individual inputs is it draws certain amount of water as input. Surprisingly generates certain quantity of wine as output, such that the product of outputs that it provides for a set of two individual inputs is equal to the output obtained when the sum of the two respective quantities is fed to the pump. So when the input is X, the output is Y. When the input is, sorry, when the input is x, the output is a. When the input is y, the output is b. When the input is x plus y, the output is a into b. F of x plus f of y is equal to f of x into y. F of y, I think I've spotted the question. On testing, he revises that if the triangle receives 3 leaders, and this happens, f of x plus f of y is f of x into f of x into f of y. No, it's equal to f of x into y. Sorry, f of x into f of x plus f of y. I'm sorry, this function, that functional representation would be f of x plus y is equal to f of x into f of y, and this happens in indices functions when we multiply 2 raised to 3 into 2 raised to x into 2 raised to y, that's 2 raised to x plus y. Yeah, so this is indices function. So f of x is some k raised to x. Tank receives 3, input is 3, 4 liters output. So f of 3 is equal to 4, and that's k raised to 3. And q liters of wine will be generated if 9 liters of water is withdrawn from the tank. So f of 9 would mean k raised to 9, and that's q liters. Clearly it's the whole square, so q is nothing but 16. Find the number of factors of 4096q. So easy, that's 2 raised to 4 into 2 raised to 12, that's 2 raised to 16, and the number of factors it will be have is 17. Q liters of wine will be generated if 9 liters of water is withdrawn. Oops, my answer is not matching. 2 raised to 12 into q, which was 2 raised to 416, the net power of 2 is 2 raised to the power 16, the number of factors of it is 17. It's not there in the options. I'll mark for later and come back, but I think I've cracked the question. Anand created which contains of 9 such as some increasing AP, the elements of every chalu switch rules. Was this question somewhere else as well? I recall seeing such a question. Okay, let's move on. If b times this is equal to a times this, then 1 minus cos of 30 upon 1 minus cos of this would be what in terms of a and b? I am not sure. I'm not so comfortable with the properties, but I think, this could be an easy solve, but yeah, it'll take time for me. I'll go ahead. Amrish takes a closer look at the vertical cross section of a perfume bottle, which is designed in such a way that it has a trapezoidal body and a triangular cap. So Amrish, okay, I'll just quickly glance if there are, quick easy questions. For I developed 2 separately functioning machines, such as each machine requires certain kg of rice husk as input and in turn provides certain number of rice husk briquettes output. X is the x kg of rice husk is fed into, then Farah's machine generates the output as 3x minus 5. Gautam's machine generates, so f of x and g of x. Afsar feeds 46189 quintals of rice husk to Gautam's rice feeder machine. Step 2, the output generated from Gautam is fed to Farah's machine, and that is also calculated. Step 3, the output from is again, and this is this thing. And Mandar performs the given series of operations from right to left. That is, Mandar is step 1. So step 1 he does, then step 2, then so Mandar is step 1, then step 1, then step 2, then step 3, and then again step 2. Wasting so much time here. Sorry. Are there direct questions? Are there any direct questions? So Anand created a matrix. 16 and 21, similar, or rather, the same. Questions where I'm not reading so much. Okay, remainder, I'll do this. Log, I'll check. And then I have this DI as well. I think I'll stick to these direct questions, the not so lengthy ones, reading ones, and then come to the DI set. G of x is this and G of f of x is this. Then find f of 1 by root 3, given that f of 1 by root 3 is even. Okay. So G of, basically I'll simply say G of f of x is. So G of f of 1 by root 3 would be equal to, basically substituting 1 by root 3 in that G of f of x, and that will give me 3 into x square. So 3 upon root 3 square is also 3. So 3 and 3, 1 plus root 3x. That's again a 1 plus 4. That's equal to 6. So G of f of 1 by root 3 is 6. But G of what x is equal to 6, I can get from the G of x. So G of which x is equal to 6, and using which I can, solve this. So G of x is equal to 6 and G of x should be equal to, G of x should be equal to x cube minus 6x square plus 11x. 6 is equal to this. Therefore, I just have to solve this for a cubic equation, x cube minus 6x square plus 11x minus 6 equal to 0. I should know that the sum of these coefficients is equal to 1. So x equal to 1 is x equal to 1 is equal to the is a root of this thing. Also, if I divide this thing by x equal to 1, I quickly do it using the synthetic division. 1 minus 6, 11 minus 6. 1 comes as it is. 1 into 1 is 1. Minus 1, minus 6 plus 5, minus 6 plus 1 is minus 5. Minus 5. 11 minus 5 is 6. 6 and 6, 0. So x minus 1 into x square minus 5x plus 6. Again, the roots are 2 and 3. So x equal to 2 is the only even root. Hence, f of x, the x that you're getting over here, see, for for f of g of 2 is also 6, and g of f of 1 by root 3 is also 6. So therefore, we are equating f of 1 by root 3 is 2, and this would be the answer. The other x's that give you 6 as the output are odd numbers. We don't want odd numbers. We want even numbers. Okay. So find the remainder of this thing, 38 raised to something plus 38 raised to something when divided by 39. 39, which is completely co-prime to 38. But 38 divided by 39, the remainder is minus 1. And yes, the answer to this one would be 0, because 38 divided by 38 raised to 64 minus 1 to the power 64 would be 1. And minus 1 raised to 15, the remainder would be minus 1. Minus 1, 1 plus 1 minus 1, the net remainder would be 0. Easy. Log of 2.7z to the base 17, log of 15 to the base 17, log of 2 to the base 17, the log of 7.5, log of 125 to the base 17, log of 12x upon 2y. So log of 6x by y to the base 17 is a. And I'm left with 10 minutes. I think I'll give this question 2 minutes and then move on to the DI set directly. 26 onwards, yeah. Or I'll come to this one last time. In fact, DI is something which either the DI or this matrix thing. Where was it? 16. Yeah. Some of these earlier questions, whichever, seem more interesting. This rental family has 4 adults, and the adults are working in media houses, and their children who are aspiring adults in mass media. And one day, Kadir, one of the adults, decides to invite all members of his family to show them his recording studios. There are two studios, Rhythm Retreat and a black colored Rhythm Retreat, a black colored studio, and Vocal Vibe, a white colored studio. Okay. Two adult women in the house are always adult, so can't be present at the same studio. Okay, it's a selection based question. All right, all right, all right. Rhythm Retreat is black and Vocal Vibe is white. All right, be a little fast, Akshay. Two adult women in the house are always at local loggerheads and cannot be present in the same studio. All right, Amar and Kadir do not share a good rapport, hence therefore cannot be present in the same studio. So Amar and Kadir are opposites. Okay, then adult woman 1, let me call it woman 1 and woman 2, assuming that women are adult and females would be the other, we call them girls or something. Uh, there must be a minimum 2 males and 2 females in each studio. Okay. Pankaj and Divya have contrasting views on journalism, so cannot be in the same studio. Pankaj and Divya are also in the opposite studios. There are 4 adults, out of which Pankaj and Kadir are 2 men and Radha or Saraswati are 2 women. Clearly, this is Radha and Saraswati, the 2 women, adult women who are at loggerheads. Okay, further, at least 2 children and 2 adults must be in one studio. So clearly, if there are only 4 adults and at least 2 adults must be there in each studio, 2 adults here, 2 adults here. There are 4 children, 2 children here, 2 children here. So it has to be 4 and 4 only. Amar and Bhagwat are 2 boys and Charu and Divya are 2 girls. So okay, Amar and Bhagwat are boys, Charu and Divya are girls. Each of the studio can accommodate 4 persons only. All right, pretty straightforward. Let's go ahead. If P and A are present in a studio, so let us make it P and A are present in one studio. So I'll use the red ink now to denote information which is questionable. Okay, P and A are there, so Q and D are in another studio. Then who can be the other 2 members in that studio? You can't have Q or D, neither Q nor D. And S and R cannot be together. The only combination possible is S and C. Wow, it's easy. If Q and R are present in a studio, Q and R are present in a studio. So, for example, Q and R are present. So clearly S and A should be over here. Further, who are the males? I'll quickly note down the males and females. T is adult, Q is adult, Radha is female, Saraswati is female, Amar is a male boy, so adults and children, and Bhagwat is the boy, C and D are the girls. Okay, yeah, pretty clear. TQ, the initial 2 letters are boy, males, the last 2 letters are females, adults, and children. Okay. So QRSA are present. So Q is a male adult, R is a female adult, S is a female adult, A is a female boy. Now, what is required? Then who can be the other 2 members in that studio? So who can be with Q and R? So Q and R, A and S cannot be, A and S cannot be, and further P and D cannot be together. So one out of P or D can be there. P and D. 2 adults, 2 children. Okay, so P and D could be there. One out of P or D could be there. D is there in the team. So with D, who can be there? So if D is also there, there are already 2 females. There has to be a male. C cannot come in. So therefore, it has to be B and D. All right. I'll erase whatever was there in this question. All right. If Divya chooses to enter rhythm retreat, so Divya who's a female child, which other members will necessarily have to enter vocal Y? So P would definitely enter here. P is an adult male. Did I miss a clue? There must be at least two males, two females, four adults, at least two children, two adults. Amar, this. Each student can accommodate this. Yeah. Which other members must necessarily have to enter? Can't be present, contrasting, can't be present in the same studio. Have I missed out on any clue below? No. Question 28. Amar, Charu, and Pankaj, if Divya chooses to enter the retreat, which of the members will necessarily have to enter there? P is surely over there, so Pankaj should be there in the team. Charu, why? I'm not sure. But Pankaj should definitely be in the opposite team because Divya and Pankaj are opposites. So maybe I'll go using the options. Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, and Charu. Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, Charu. Two adults, two children, two males, two females. No, but this is not true. Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, and Charu can enter the same studio. Kadir, Radha, Bhagwat, and Divya. Kadir, Radha, Pankaj Saraswati, Amar, and Charu. And Charu. Yeah. Kadir, Radha, Bhagwat, Divya cannot enter the same studio. Kadir, Radha, Bhagwat, and Divya. Kadir, Radha, Bhagwat, and Divya cannot enter the same studio. Somewhat similar. Pankaj, Kadir, Amar, Charu. Pankaj, Kadir, Amar, Charu can enter the same studio. This can never be true because there are three males. Last one, Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, and Charu. Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, and Charu. Pankaj, Saraswati, Amar, and Charu. No conditions violated. Yeah, this can be true, and therefore this is the answer. Which of the following combinations can be acceptable combinations of the people in white and black studios, respectively? All right, I think one last question of this section. PQBD. PQBD. No, three males. PSAC. PSAC. PSAC does not violate any conditions. I think this could be a possibility, but let me check the other options also very quickly. SRAC. SRAC, three females together. No. PSAB. PSAB, three males together. No. The only option possible is option. Oof. I have attempted 17. I don't know if how many more will I be able to attempt. Hardly have any time. I don't think I'm going to guess on any question here. Hey, I had this in mind. This question is something which I had worked already. 2 raised to 16. When 3 liters input, it generates 4. So when 9 liters is the input, into 3. All right. The section is changed. Now let's move ahead to VA. I'll not start with the reading first. I'll first of all, generally, I'll still look at the questions first of all. Question number 1, which of the following is the closest meaning of the word Concomitant. Okay, I'll check. I'm not sure about the answer though. Which according to passage, which cognitive functions tend to decline first as people age? I think direct question. The author mentions all the following except this. The use it or lose it perspective suggests that I think except for the vocab question and the last one maybe, I think I'll be able to do this. So yeah, one thing I'll just quickly review all the other passages also. According to the passage, what type of cancers are most likely missed in the previous this thing? Right. Okay, I'll have to kind of read the entire thing for this. Like on increasing cancer rates. All right, slightly lengthy. I think I'll first close up on the grammar, vocab, and all those questions, and then come back to it. The media reported that Hurricane Isabel was relentlessly dash on the coastline, prompting widespread evacuations. Turn in, submit, giving way, give way. It's not giving way, it's coming towards this, drill down, breakdown. I think I'm not sure about bearing down, but that the other three I'm pretty clear that those would not be the answer, maybe. The country faced a significant financial crisis last year, but the banking sector was able to. But okay, so kind of handle it well. Take via storm doesn't fit in this context. Stir up a storm. Stir up a storm. No, I know stir up a storm means create kind of a situation kind of a was able to storm out. Weather the storm, yeah. Weather the storm clearly means handle it well. Before making any hasty decisions about changing careers, please consider all your options and potential outcomes. It is better to leap at the chance. Sounds like without thinking. Consider all options, something that considers all options, all possibilities. It's better to leap and bound. Look before you leap would mean be a little cautious. That's what this sentence is trying to say. Work just keeps on. I think this is commonly used, piling up. My backlog keeps on piling up. The cost advantage gives us dash. We'll definitely secure the tender. The cost advantage gives us a card up our sleeve. Wild card in the pack, chip on the shoulder. I don't know the meaning of an arm and a leg, but a card up our sleeve sounds like having an advantage. Despite advancements in workplace equality, hidden gender bias in talent performance management means that women still don't enjoy a level playing field. Clearly, you made a good progress in the last few months with IPMAT expression, and we hope that you will have the ball in your court. You will definitely have the ball in your court. It is up to you how you perform. You drop the ball, keep the ball rolling, hit the ball with the bat, keep the ball rolling, continue with the progress, continue. Yeah. Military and technology advances by it is never a smooth and steady progression, but rather characterized by sudden breakthroughs and periods of stagnation. It's not continuous. And there are stagnations also, but there are breakthroughs also. Wildfire would mean spreading very fast, leaps and bounds also fast. Nice answer should be fits and starts, I think, because there are periods of breakthroughs and stagnations. Yeah. Both of my parents speak English fluently, but neither of them speak. Both of my parents speak English fluently, but neither of them speaks French. That should be option B. Subject verb agreement there. Should you have any concerns regarding the upcoming event? Should you have any concerns regarding the upcoming event? Please do not hesitate to contact me. There are more than 10,000 shipwrecks in the UK waters, but yet is already contrast. Yet two-thirds of these remain mysteries in terms of, or but two-thirds of them remain mysteries. All the options starts with yet, so I need to eliminate but, it's redundant. Yet two-thirds of these remain mysteries. Two-thirds of these remain mysteries. Yet two-thirds of these remain mysteries. Yeah, absolutely right. Yet two-thirds of this, no, not this. It will be this. It will be these and remain. Yes, the answer will be A. It is advised to you that you. It is advised you. Not correct. It is advised you have a preemptive strategy in place to mitigate any potential risks that might arise during the project. It is advised. It is advised that you have a preemptive strategy in place. For to know it is advised that you have a preemptive strategy in place to mitigate. Yeah, the answer should be option D. Right, the scissor was blunt and did cut through the fabric properly. The scissor was blunt and didn't cut through the fabric. The scissor, pair of scissors. We always say pair of scissors. The pair of scissors was blunt. Yeah, the scissors were blunt. Scissors is always considered to be a plural thing. It's never a scissor. So the scissors were blunt and didn't cut through. Cut along or cut through. And cut through, yeah, basically. Cutting through, not cutting along, yeah. The mistake is mine, not her, and I'm fully prepared to take responsibility for it and make amends. The mistake is mine. Option A, mistake is mine, not hers. Yeah, that is actually more appropriate. It is not hers. The mistake is mine, not, okay, there's no apostrophe required there. The mistake is my, not her. The mistake is of me, not her. Yes. I think these questions are pretty straightforward going till now. This is tricky. Dust pollution and unseen yet dash environmental hazard silently enters urban landscapes, contributing to health hazards and ecological something negative. Ecological decimation, ecological degradation, annihilation, dissemination. Okay. Consumes urban does not make sense. Infuses will not be the right usage for the second line. Permeates. Actually, I'm not sure about the meaning of the word benign. But permeates and urban landscapes and ecological decimation. Decimates. So because I think dust pollution is degrading the ecology. Infiltrates, degrades, and pervasive, yeah, it's kind of persists. I think the answer will be option B. Taj Mahal stands as an dash testament to the. So I think some students are commenting that the answer to certain questions will be wrong. Actually, I am you know trying to take the test myself, so I could go wrong some places. I'm just trying to answer as correct as possible as per my capabilities. So I might be wrong in some places. Surely, definitely, I would go wrong some places. Okay, and that's what the idea of this session was, to give you life solving experience. Meticulously crafted with intimate foreign motives and geometric patterns, Taj Mahal dash the artistry and the precision of the ancient technique. Okay, a testament to the dash beauty. Intricate beauty, ephemeral, iridescent testament, ephemeral testament, immaculate testament, timeless beauty, and Taj Mahal testifies the artistry and the precision of this ancient technique. Enduring testament, unparalleled beauty exemplifies. I am confused between options C and D. Maybe I'll come back to it. I'm not sure about it. In 2007, a World Bank report invented the term. Generally, I know the phrase coined the term. So there's coined, but I'll just check if all the other blanks also fill in properly. The term was used to describe countries in Latin America and the Middle East who, despite economic growth and the falling party rates, could not become high income. It actually fits in properly because despite something positive, could not become high income. So something which shows that poverty is going down, yet so falling party, yeah, basically. The negatives in the appropriate ones could be plummeting and falling, and invented ascribe, whereas if you look at the words in the second option, fit in absolutely perfectly. The dash of government involvement in administering temple wealth has been a deeply dashed topic in the nation's religious and cultural ethos. Okay, the extent of the limit of government involvement has been a deeply debated topic. Uh, I think, yeah, the extent of government involvement, right? The extent to which the government is involved, and it's a deeply debated topic, highlighted topic, discussed topic. The distance doesn't make sense. I think clearly option A. NASA has dash a strategic plan to protect Earth from potential asteroid impacts by dash a vast fleet of spacecraft to dash and alter the technology. Okay. NASA has a NASA has generally unveiling the plan, announced a strategic plan, revealed, publicized. Okay. I'll just check what other what other blanks we have. To protect Earth from potential asteroid in impacts by launching or something, a vast fleet of spacecraft to prevent and alter the trajectory, to prevent or to intercept and alter. Yeah, prevent, unveiled, deployed by deploying a vast field. Clearly, the words in the second option make the most sense. Unveiled a plan, deployed a vast fleet of spacecrafts to intercept the trajectory and alter it. Makes the most sense, yeah. So basically, in the previous question, I'm not marking option C because deviate and alter would mean the same thing. So yeah, intercept and alter. Parajumbles, is it? Okay. Incorrect use of word. Their continual nagging just wears me down. Let's wait until the effect of the drug wears off. I've had this laptop for 2 years and starting to show signs of wears and tears. Kanan, your joke is beginning to wear thin now. I think the incorrect usage is option C because I know it's wear and tear. It's not wears and tears. Showing sign of wear and tear. This series is written in the same vein as the original series, but made a bit more modern for a new millennium crowd. The word that we are looking for is vein. No, stories. She has inherited an artistic vein from her mother and paints as well as her. Soldiers fought bravely till death. and their sacrifice would not go in vain. The third one, I clearly can see that vain should not be VEIN. I think it's vain, VAIN, if I'm not wrong. Plants had complex leaf vein network. So I'll go ahead, with this question. One of the contains incorrectly appropriate, choose the incorrect usage. His grades went through the roof after he started studying more diligently. The crowd raised the roof when the winning uh, goal was scored. I prefer not to eat wild rice because it tends to cling to the roof of my mouth. Must execute the secret mission with precision. There is no room for error. Clearly incorrect usage. There's no room for error. I feel fueled to kick in. Fueled. I feel fueled in to kickstart my own business. You need to hydrate and fuel yourself up before your football match. Fueled in to kickstart my own business. Okay, the minister gave a statement and he was different from adding fuel to the fire as he's not aware of the facts. Station has a capacity to fuel up close to 400 cars a day. Refrain from adding fuel to fire. I think I believe option A seems a little inappropriate. I'm fueled in. I'm fueled up, maybe. I'm not sure though, but yeah, I'll go ahead with this. They're constantly trying to hammer good manners into their children. Please hammer up and be ready for a rough year ahead as the markets will be hammer up. We're almost done with the deck. We just have to have a few more blanks to hammer down. I'm sure my mechanic would hammer out that dent in your door. Not sure of this phrasal verb usage. Moving on. Palm oil is a very productive crop. It offers far greater yield at a lower cost of production than other vegetable oils. Dash plantations are spreading across Asia, Africa, and Latin America, but such expansion comes at the expense of tropical forests, which form critical habitats for many endangered. Palm oil is very productive. It offers diseases. Okay. I think I need to now speed up and I'll see if there are any direct, parajumbles and move on to RCs before I come to the, verbal reasoning. What all do I have in verbal reasoning? 37 to 40. Para completion. Yeah, conclusion. I think I'm not so good at that. So, first I'll complete my parajumbles if there are any easy ones, and then RCs, and then the remaining last 9 questions. Hobbies describes humans as nasty and brutish, needing society and rules to reign in their instincts in order to thrive. Hobbes describes, sorry. Okay, could be an introduction opener. The two most famous opposing views in this debate are those of Thomas Hobbes and no, but Hobbes is here and this. So I think there is a debate, and Thomas Hobbes is introduced here. Hobbes describes this. Okay, so I think one should come after two. Later, Rousseau openly criticized him, arguing instead whether humans are born good or evil has been debated by philosophers for centuries. That's the opener. The two most, so 4, 2, the connectors would be 4, 2. Hobbes describes this, and later Rousseau also openly criticized him. Whom, him, Hobbes. Yeah, so I think 4, 2, 3, 1. Pretty simple. must do. 4, 2, 3, 1. Next. This is because their breathing is not automatic, can't be the opener. If they don't do this and go into deep unconscious sleep, they would stop. Dolphins cannot sleep the way we do. They have to remain conscious even when they are sleeping. In other words, dolphins have to actively decide whether when to breathe so they may continue. Okay. 3 is the opener. Dolphins cannot sleep even when they are sleeping. Okay, so 3-2-1-4 or 3-1-2-4. I'm just confused. Dolphins cannot sleep the way they have to remain conscious when they are sleeping. This is because their breathing is not automatic. It is consciously controlled. No. Dolphins cannot sleep the way we do. They're doing something. If they don't do this and go into deep unconscious sleep, they would stop breathing and suffocate or drown. This is because their breathing is not out. So 4-3-2-1-4. With focus on speed and convenience, quick commerce platforms are forcing traditional FMCG giants like HUL and Marico to rethink their strategies. The rise of quick commerce is not just transforming how people shop, it's also reshaping the retail supply chain. The distribution advantage these companies once enjoyed is now under threat. This gives new brand more visibility and makes prices more competitive. This gives new brands more visibility, and what gives the distribution advantage is now under threat. The threat gives the brands more visibility and makes prices more competitive. Could it be 2-4-1-3 or could it be 2-1-3-4? Because or it would start with one. With a focus on speed and inconvenience, quick commerce platforms are forcing traditional this thing to rethink their strategies. The distribution advantage these companies once enjoyed is under threat. So 1-3 new brands. This gives new brands more visibility and makes prices more competitive. The rise of quick commerce is not. It was also shaping the retail supply chain. Not sure. I have limited time. Sorry. In recent years, there's been significant rise in the use of DNA testing among sports teams, coaches, and athletes. But what you don't have the financial means to test your genes. It is widely controversial topic from a scientific point of view. Understanding the DNA how it affects you enables top athletes to capitalize on their genetic predispositions and in turn develop their physical. Understanding the DNA, it is widely controversial. Okay, not a startup, but what you in recent years, there has been significant rise of DNA testing among sports team coaches and athletes. Understanding the DNA and how it affects you enables top athletes to capitalize their genetic predispositions and in turn develop their physical abilities. But what if you don't have the means? It is widely It is a widely controversial topic, but from a scientific standpoint, the idea of accessing genetic information to predict sporting ability is an exciting. So what if you don't have the financial means? And then they close it with a uh, controversial topic but exciting prospect kind of a this thing. 1-4-2-3. Our previous literature suggests. I think I'll go to the RCs now. There were quite a lot of direct questions. Cognitive decline in the frequent concomitant is a frequent concomitant of aging. Cognitive decline is a frequent concomitant of aging. Kind of, we could say a result, or because aging is not something which comes. Cognitive decline is a frequent concomitant of aging. Outcome of aging, something like that. Is a frequent cognitive decline is a frequent concomitant of aging. Not definitely not a symptom, not a disadvantage. Concomitant. Our age-related cognitive changes may vary across cognitive domains. And consequence of aging. Sequences of something. Functions such as working memory. I'll pass this question. Processing decline over the lifespan, whereas semantic memory and knowledge start declining mainly in later life. Can cognitive decline be delayed or resumed? Okay, so that's the thing. Cognitive decline. It's about cognitive decline. Cognitive hypothesis. Cognitive old age can waves in its use. The use it or lose it perspective. According to points. There's something about lose it or use it. Okay, lose it or use it. The cognitive analysis in old age can be shaped by various behaviors and activities. The use it or lose it perspective emphasizes that cognitively stimulating may help and preserve cognitive abilities, possibly through cognitive reserve. The perspective emphasizes that cognitively stimulating activities may help preserve this thing. This reserve, bolstered by factors like education and cognitively active lifestyle, helps maintain cognitive functions despite brain pathology. Okay, so although with aging there will be some decline, but if you keep it active, yeah, something like that. So if you don't use it, you'll lose it. Yeah, cognitive reserve helps in the treatment of brain pathology. Stimulating activities can help maintain cognitive abilities. Yes, absolutely. Brain training games are the most effective way. There's nothing mentioned. Education is a key determinant of answers. Option B. Yeah. All right, moving on to the second question, back to second question. Yeah. According to the passage, cognitive functions tend to decline first as people age. Which cognitive functions? Okay, yeah. Research generally supports the link between cognitive and better cognitive performance in late life, and such as reading being associated with improved cognition. However, NIH noted that evidence on this is limited and inconsistent. Which cognitive functions decline first? Cognitive functions such as working memory can utilize on, whereas semantic memory and knowledge start declining later. Okay, so functions such as working memory and processing speed tend to decline first and start decline mainly in later life. One challenge solving was okay. So yeah, basically it was in the first paragraph itself. Semantic memory later, working memory and processing speed. Factor analysis. One challenge, community is defining the combination from maybe some cases of the sudoku. Okay, another was causality, cognitive activity present decline. Okay. Okay, mentions all of the following points in the passage except. Okay, so there's mention about cognitive decline. There's mention about use it or lose it kind of a thing. So how education and cognitive function, cognitive activities, basically keep that your cognitive abilities intact, or decline slower. Research generally supports the link between cognitive and better cognitive performance in late life, such as reading being associated with improved cognitive function. However, NIH is not much of a clue. One challenge in studying in cognitive is defining as many activities involve cognition to some degree. Some researchers are focusing on specific activities like crossword or Sudoku. One study found that Sudoku positively affected memory and reasoning in adults age 65 or older, while crossword and brain training games did not show the same effect. Another issue is in reverse causality. Does cognitive activity prevent decline? Or do individuals with better cognitive functions engage more in such activities? Randomized control trials have shown that starting cognitively stimulating activities can improve performance on tasks measuring fluid intelligence, but large-scale studies have rarely addressed this. Education is another factor linked to lesser cognitive decline, where evidence benefit by such as that cognitive activity may be particular way. In fact, frequent engagement in cognitive activities may compensate for lower education levels, helping the okay. Educational background can influence the rate of cognitive decline in old age. Semantic memory and knowledge begin to decline primarily in later life. Engaging in mathematical puzzles and games can influence fluid intelligence. Randomized show that start can improve performance on measuring. Okay, engaging mathematical can enhance fluid. Cognitive stimulating activities can help reverse brain pathology. Brain pathology will never be reversed. That is not mentioned at all. Okay. According to the passage results following has been shown to positively affect memory and reasoning in older adults. Older adults. Sudoku positively affected memory and reasoning. Sudoku and uh, Sudoku. We can understand from the reverse causality refers to reverse causality. What's the misunderstanding between this thing, a situation where an outcome is as attributed when incorrect cause, a situation where the effect was actually the cause instead of the decline. Sure of this answer. And move on to the next passage. According to what types of, according to the passage, what types of cancers were most likely missed in previous studies? Way more than half of the Britons are okay. This is a long passage. It's only cancer dying within their lifetime. Archaeological evidence from all the rivers over the long that few one of the feel that as few as 1% of pre-industrial residents are now used such may have one 1% of the industry of the island suffered from devastation. However, this will be a under calculation. Okay, it's about cancer. The number of cancer. This thing in a study published recently in the Journal of Archaeologists used modern cancer detecting tools from bones from centuries old burials to remind this is this. The study was spearheaded by Cambridge University. Based on this is this okay. Pre-industrial Britain wasn't exactly carcinogen free. Okay, consumed alcohol, indoor pollutants, food, tobacco, pollution caused by industrial, this, okay. Michelle believes that the reason ancient cancers have been undergone, Michelle believes. But past studies of cancer rates in pre-industrial populations relied mostly on visual assessments, which could be the reason of undercount. The majority of cancers are and those that spread to the bones do so from the bone marrow and outward. So looking bone's exterior surface doesn't alone reveal the whole story. To better identify the potential cancers in ancient human remains, Michelle and his team employed the same tools. Okay. The team only made cancer diagnosis Michelle's assessment of the combined CT and X-ray evidence made the opinion faster. The two-layered approach ruled out most of the almost all subjects selected, and in the end, team rated cancer in both the 5 of the 143 individuals. That number, however, most likely does not capture every possible cancer case in the test population. Only one third of the modern cancer was spread to the bone. CT scans detect cancer in bone about 70% of the time. When the researchers applied those constraints to the extrapolation between 9 to 14 using that cancer and estimate full 10 times higher than previous figure of around 1%. According to the passage, what types of cancers were most likely missed in the this thing? Cancers that spread from the lungs to the bones, cancers that begin this and do not reach the bones, cancers that cause external lesion on the bone, the younger population, but do not reach the bones. Yeah. So cancer itself usually helps. Majority of cancer starting and those spread that spread from this. So looking at the yeah, sure, next. According to which of the following statements is true? More than half of all writings have cancer in modern times. No, they go for cancer test. Are expected to receive a cancer. Okay, huh? Are expected. Don't have it right now. Yeah. Prior research on archaeological evidence indicates that prior research approximately of multiple cancer facilities are characterized with spread of cancer to the skeletal system. According to which of the following statements is true? Yes, this one is true. Only one third of the cancer deaths involve spread to the bone. Approximately one third of the modern cancer fatalities are characterized by spread to the spread of the cancer to the skeletal system. Yeah, that's the bones. Which of the following factors contributed to the increase of cancer rates after the industrial era? Last 2 minutes बचे हैं, शांत. Just following contributed to the increase in the cancer after the industrial era. After the industrial era. So industrial era, regularly this is this sweep out of golden coal. This. I think this one is the only one. These are all kind of just industrial kind of thing. Just following limitations in the study conducted by Michel and his team has been highlighted in the passage. Michel and the team. Yeah, Michel and the team. The focus was solely on skeletal remains available to more soft tissue samples. Seconds. While the researchers believe they did not detect cancer cases in the skeletons they studied, CT scans detect only the skeletons were damaged and the sample size was too small to draw accurate. Probably the scans would be accurate. All right, my test is done, and I have not cleared the cutoff for the verbal ability section, but that was expected. You students are supposed to be much better than me in the VA section, but I hope you've got a good understanding, of how you could have approached the quant sections. all right, you had to be, for example, some questions I left very quickly. Whenever I found a question that I could have attempted, I did that in the QA section. Even my accuracy has gone, it's not 100%. So I've missed out on one, I've gone wrong in one question in QA short answer. I've gone wrong in two questions in the QA MCQ. And in the verbal ability, if I've scored 102, I expect my students to score at least, 130, 140 around. Okay, because I am not good and I'm not preparing for VA at this point. Okay. So if I were to tell you a good score, I think, if I've got 36, at least 32 or 28 would be definitely a good score for the short answer section. In the MCQ section, I did not perform particularly well. I think anywhere above 50 would be a good score in the in the MCQ. So see, there are cutoffs and there are good scores. So when I mention the good scores, so if I just close this and go to the analytics of this test, 1 second. So I'll quickly open the analytics of this test. So if I open my analytics, the cutoffs mentioned are 20, 43 and 121. So if I were to, kind of identify a good score, you can simply say +2 questions would actually be a very good score over here. 28 or 38, 32 plus would be a very good score here. 43, I would suggest 50 plus would be a very good score here. And as far as the verbal ability section is concerned, I can tell you, I could feel that rustiness. I'm not into the habit of reading right now. So that's why, I did not do well in the RCs also. I didn't attempt a few Parajumbles and I didn't do any para completion at all. So if you are actively in touch with those things, your speed with grammar and vocabulary would be very, very fast. You'd be able to, do a bit more. I did 33 questions. Maybe you should be able to reach 40 questions over here and get around 36 correct, 90% accuracy. So 36 into 4 would be 144 minus 4. I think 140 plus would be a good score in this test in the verbal ability. So as you can see clearly, my verbal ability is not so good. So a good overall score, anyone who scored, it's not possible to score good in all the three sections. You could score good in maths or you could score good in the verbal. Okay. So there would be some of you would score well in all the three. Okay. But I'm not saying all the, you do well in all the three. So if you were to ask me a good score, maybe, around 210 plus would be a good score in this test. If you've scored about 210, you've done well. You've done very well. Keep it up. And the most important challenge for you would be to maintain that score. Okay. Vihan, as I can tell you, it's good, right? If you've cleared the cutoff, first of all, see, the test was not easy. If I compare it to the questions that I see in the past year papers, you would have realized the questions were very, very lengthy. The QA's questions were particularly very lengthy. You had to read so much. Even the functions based questions were given as texts. So many questions were given as long texts. So it wasn't so easy to, read those questions and score very high in the QA section, right? So therefore, when I mentioned that the QA cutoffs are QA good scores are 28 and 50 respectively, they themselves are quite on the higher side. Okay. So if you've scored anywhere around 210, you've done exceedingly well. Verbal ability, I can assure you, if I, without any practice, could do, 102 or something, I'm pretty sure, if y'all with the touch and with all the guidance that y'all are getting from the verbal mentors, I'm pretty sure, 140 was quite manageable. And there are many students who scored, 120 plus 140, around 140 or 140 plus in the verbal. So if you're really looking to, up the game for your IPMAT Indore selection, I think these are the kind of scores that you should aim for in your strong areas. In your weak areas, you could have done a little lower and that's still okay. But in your strong area, you should have been around the good score that I mentioned over here. All right. So I hope you, got a good understanding of how you should have approached the paper. Please try to, be a little selective. At least I'm happy, in the two QA sections, I could read or I could reach the end of the paper. because I left questions at, whenever in between. And as far as the, the VA section is concerned, I think, yeah, your speed has to be much, much higher. I'll just check if there's any question in the live chat of the YouTube. Live YouTube chat. ये क्या डेल लाइव आता है? Roadmap ahead, VA cutoff clear. Roadmap basically, yeah, scored, if you scored around 150 plus, you just need to, fine tune your things. From going from 150 to 200 does not take a lot of time. You just need to stick to your basics. Keep doing whatever you're doing. Every day, 1 or 2 hours of VA. Solve 2 to 3 RCs every day. Solve verbal reasoning questions every day. Parajumbles, at least 4 or 5 questions every day. Reason them out. It's not just about solving one question. When you're doing verbal ability, solve a question and try to think of all the alternatives, all the reasonings, all the rules that you had studied and how they were applicable in that question. Okay. Similarly, as far as the QA is concerned, I think practice is something that you need. And again, while you're practicing, identify, which concept was applied over here. If the question would have been twisted this way, how the answer would have changed. All these things are things that you can, kind of do to make your thought process and your speed better. Okay, of thinking when you see a question or its variation, right? So I'm really happy that so many students attended till the end. There are 13 students in the Zoom, around 15-20 students in the YT live still attending. So thank you very much for attending. I hope this session added value, and I'm glad that I got this opportunity to do this live solve in front of you. All right. So on that note, thank you very much, guys. All the best, and yeah, keep working hard.